Here it is, greenhouse, fully skinned.
All skinned up.
Almost. Still a little bit to do on the back side, the side that you can't see.
Right.
We're over 9,000 feet elevation, and we're trying to build a greenhouse so we can grow food year round at our property, at our homestead. So we went with a Growing Spaces Grow Dome 33-foot dome greenhouse. Even though we're on the third weekend of installing panels, it feels like it's the hardest part for a couple of reasons.
Reason number one man job.
Well, I've been out of town the last weekend and for the next 3 weekends doing art shows. So besides today, I'm not going to be around to help much with this project. So as you can see from some of this time-lapse video, Brian's been doing the panels last weekend all by himself, even up high.
Yeah, those are the toughest ones.
So
These ground level ones are pretty nice, so we don't have to. Although the ones up there were more, there was some more horizontal, so you could just kind of lay them, and they would stay in place, and then you could adjust them. So there's a little more vertical here, so we have to kind of hold them in place, get them just right. So. Well,
reason number two why this is the hardest part is that everything, this is the final row, so everything has to fit perfectly. There's not much more wiggle room to be had.
Right. Yeah.
So you'll be seeing us trying to fit just exactly. We've had to take a couple of extra steps to make sure everything buttons together just right on the last row.
Right. So.
And then the third reason why this is one of the hardest parts is because there's a lot of cutouts and trimming involved for this final row. We've got 2 more vents and windows to install.
Fan vents to put in. So.
But the reason why I feel like this is the hardest part is because even though the greenhouse looks done, it's not really anywhere as close to being usable at this point.
Right, yeah.
Basically what we've built is an oven so far, and we need to get the air circulation going. We need to start regulating that temperature inside, and we have to seal it. So the taping is going to be a whole nother step that might take a whole day just to get the sealing of the greenhouse watertight. Yeah. So we definitely have our work cut out for us. Yeah. Also battling a little bit of wind, which makes it really fun trying to carry panels.
Yeah. You got to hold it like in the parallel to the wind so it doesn't blow you away.
Do you think the bottom board is...
Well, we can rotate this one a little.
Yeah. So you loosen up the bolts a little bit and then...
Yeah, we can kind of torque this hub a little.
It's just not quite enough to screw in there.
Yeah, that way we get more purchase here.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure I squashed that down too much. I wasn't really sure cranking it down.
So it's a little bit bowed right there?
Yes.
You're just putting a little splint in?
Some pressure to hold it out.
Oh, okay.
Then I'll screw in those 2 and that should hold it.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see how much I just moved it. You can see the previous hole for this one.
Oh yeah, quite a bit.
So.
Now, when you're watching this go together, it probably looks like these are all the same size panels, but
they're not. They're not even close.
In fact, there's like 7 different sizes.
Yeah. So every pentagon gets 8 panels. Okay. And then there's also a side you have to make sure you're oriented properly. So they're always marked with a B side. The perimeter of the pentagon is all B sides. So there's a blue on the diagram. So this is what we look at.
Yeah, the diagram helps you by knowing what strut is what letter and how to orient the panels so they line up with appropriate strut.
All right, so this makes it super simple.
Yeah, it's color coded.
So you're not guessing the whole time. So
yeah, peel the paper. That's step 1.
And keep it off the ground. Yeah, you build up a static charge.
Yeah.
When you pull that off, and you don't want it anywhere near the ground.
Yeah.
So.
Because it'll collect a lot of dirt.
Right.
All right.
The other thing with these, the way they cut them, your corrugations or your spaces are more perpendicular to the ground. So if water gets in there, it'll want to drain downward. So
It's good.
plus all the little pieces are in there from when they cut them. Come your way.
A little bit more on the top.
That's good.
Now, another thing people might be wondering about is the gaps between the panels. So one reason why the design of this dome is pretty cool is that it's pretty forgiving. You don't have to be 100% perfect with it. The gaps are actually going to be sealed by this polyvinyl tape.
Yeah, this is aircraft tape.
This is very sticky and flexible, very strong. I mean, it's been covered in dirt and it's still hard to get off my fingers. So there's enough tape here to go over the seams and seal even a 1/2-inch gap there. So you might be right on, you might butt right up on your panels, or you might have a sizable gap and the tape will fix that problem. So kind of a relief to have that as part of the design as well. Not only to waterproof it, but to allow for a little bit of room and movement on the joins. Okay, that looks good.
Yeah. Hold on. Over here. Okay.
Oh, here's the next one.
Sweet.
Here you go. Are you on Vago spot? Just looking out at everything? Okay. Down to the last 3. It's nice that the wind calmed down.
I know.
That's what it's time for.
It's almost time for the last panel.
It's almost time for the last panel.
Okay,
Now it's time for last panel.
last panel.
But you said we have to do this one differently.
We do. We can't clamp it
Why?
because we're at the end.
Yep.
So we'll just have to hold it in place.
It's going to be a matter of holding it in place, eh?
Yep.
The biggest gap is on the top, but
It's okay.
how's the bottom?
It's all good.
Okay. A little bit of a gap for you to... Oh gosh, now I have to see what it looks like inside.
Whoa!
They're all finished. It's going to be awesome.
I know, it looks so much bigger when it's got a roof on it.
Ah! Oh my gosh!
Look at that. Looks perfect.
Finally inside the whole greenhouse.
Inside,
This is awesome.
closed up.
It's a little echoey with nothing in here.
I know. Got a lot to put in here.
I know.
Jeez.
But, you know, I feel like this is truly the hardest part because as much as I wanted to just run in here and design the whole inside, there's a little bit more outdoor work we have to do, sealing it up and the siding before we move the whole operation inside.
Yeah, a little more dirt to bring inside too.
Yep, we have to order our specialty growing media too. So the garden beds are going to not just have this native soil, we're going to have good growing medium.
Yeah, our dirt sucks.
Yeah, our dirt sucks. Other things that have to get done as far as the panels go are the cutouts for the fans and the vents. So that involves a little bit more paneling actually. So Brian's got it here.
Yeah, so these are the vents for the outside. So if you imagine it looking like this from the profile, this will stick off of the outside, and then the fan will be in here. So there'll be a little roof here and then there.
Okay.
So
there's a little bit of that to go, and
then there's a wood frame that gets built
yeah.
to mount the fan and everything.
So a little bit to do as we wait for our siding to come in. So Brian already put in the order for the metal, corrugated, galvanized siding, and
I'll order the siding or the metal for the pool as well.
Okay.
Get that done. But I need to dig that out, so that's something I can do this weekend too, probably. So
on our rainy day, it might rain Sunday or snow. We don't know. Could be both.
Yeah.
But
because we want to recess that down a bit, so we're going to get some of the dirt we need over here from that area. So I'm thinking if we dig it down a foot, then that would be good.
Yeah, it's definitely
that way the pool's not up here; it's more down.
Lower. Yeah. But definitely feels hot in here. As soon as you walk in, there's no more breeze.
Right.
And thank God the sun is not overhead right now. It would be probably roasting. So I might even grab that shade cloth out of the shed because that's part of it too, to help provide some shade before our foliage starts growing. So, a lot more steps to come.
Yeah, the other thing we do, once we're done taping, then we have to put up the north side.
Reflective?
The reflective material, So.
Yeah, okay guys, well, we're officially transformed with
we got a roof.
The full dome. We're inside the structure. Got the skin on, so stay tuned, follow our journey. We're gonna do some major transformation to turn this into a lush tropical oasis.
Definitely. Tropical.
All right guys, see you next time.
All right, bye-bye.